You're listening to the Amazing Facts Daily Devotional. Today's topic, James White, Mr. Worldly Wiseman, Part 1. It was said of James White that he, in the winter of 1843 alone, brought over 1,000 people to Christ by preaching the Advent message. But as a child, it did not seem that James White would amount to anything. Due to a severe illness, which cost him much of his sight in his youth, he was not able to attend school until the age of 19. With his sight now fully restored, White sped through the classes in only 29 weeks. In the process of redeeming the time, however, he had made education his most treasured idol. His lust for the knowledge of the world was insatiable. As a fledgling teacher, White one day had a significant conversation with his mother on the topic of religion, specifically the belief that Christ would return in only a few years. He had no interest in theology while at school, but as his mother spoke of the second coming, his heart began to open to the message. There grew a deep struggle within him. On one side was a great desire to believe the Advent hope. On the other was the huge investment to his career. There came upon him a burden to begin praying for his students, a burden to which he yielded. He then received a distinct impression to visit each of his students and offer prayer for each one. The very thought injured his pride. He, the masterful teacher, admitting that he had joined the foolish believers? It was the absolute last thing he wanted to do. But he could not ignore the thought. He could not focus on anything but it, not even his own studies. Finally, he relented, beginning his journey. Suddenly, as he walked past an unknown home, there came a deep urge to knock on its door. Again he relented, and to his shock learned that it was the home of one of his students who had recently moved. Diligently he offered prayer. To his amazement, some 25 persons, half of the neighborhood, were called to join them. None of them were Christians, but they had recently attended some Advent meetings. After praying together, White was greatly encouraged. He visited and prayed with every one of his students. By the following year, he discovered that much of the town had become Christian. Thus began James White's ministry for God. Has your own pride stopped you from responding to conviction from God? Remember, the Lord lifts up the humble. Psalm 147:6. Our key Bible text today comes from Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Thank you for listening to the Amazing Facts Daily Devotional.